diva on his own isn't bad enough. You add into that an nearly started swearing already. An ex-Forest player is going to spell trouble. Welcome to Grumpy Old Reds. Oh, let's start with His Highness Tank. Tank, how are you, mate?
Good boy,
can you apologise to the crowd, please, mate? We've already got nearly 100 in here, all waiting for one of their heroes, and he's got to make a diva's entrance in. How are you, boys?
You know, always make an entrance. I'm not very good. I'm brilliant on phones, but Jamie's telling me to push mirror incognito and all this bollocks. I ain't got a clue what that means, so I'm studying on my phone.
Mate, you're always there doing your crypto shit, yeah? But clicking a link is like another level for you.
On Twitter and crypto, I'm an absolute whiz.
He's like Rain Man. When it comes to money, he's like Rain Man.
When it comes to everyday life, he's just pure special.
Listen, it's better than being like the Elephant Man, like Jimmy.
How are you, boys? How are you, boys?
Good,
thank you. Eid Mubarak to the boys.
Oh, bless you guys.
Thank you, man. Eid Mubarak to everyone celebrating in the chat as well. It's good to finally have done this. I mean, we've been talking about doing it for, feels like weeks or months at the moment, finally. And what a time to do it as we have the big one, Liverpool versus Forest coming up tomorrow. We will get into all of that. And as you boys, all right?
Yeah, fantastic, mate. Good to see you guys. Thank you for joining us, man. I really appreciate it.
It's like it all came together quite nicely with the game.
Yeah, Pattern was fantastic.
Yeah.
You'd almost think we'd planned it. You'd almost think it's planned it. Has Tank done something to his hair?
God. Hang on a second. If he can see comments while we're doing live shows, don't expect him to be able to talk as well at the same time.
Is it two things? Can you not see the comments coming through?
No, you can, but if he'll start reading it and then he won't be able to speak.
guys, give him some shit. He is the reason we're late. Yeah, the other boys were all in here. Obviously, Dino's doing the Dino thing on another show. He'll be here in a second. But yeah, let's get some up. But firstly, as well, we've got the Boot Room podcast tagged in the title. Yeah, if you guys are not subscribed, please go and subscribe right now. It only takes a second. Let's get all of you who are in here subscribed if you aren't already. Let us know in the chat once you've pressed the subscribe button. Tank, they're starting to take the piss out of you already, man. Your teeth are looking very white, says Ben. He's frozen.
Temporary teeth, these. I've promised Jimmy I'll give him these when
he's lending me them afterwards.
Before we get into everything, boys, just in case, for the few who may not know, Jimmy, if we start with you, just a quick hello, let them know who you are, let them know about the Boot Room, what you guys do when it's on and everything, and then we'll get into the piss take and the banter, mate.
Yeah, so I'm Jimmy McCarthy. So me and Jamie went to uni together. Luckily, we've never met Tank, but we do a weekly podcast on a Monday, all run by Jamie. We've all played football at various levels. Tank, obviously, at the highest. Me and Jamie have both played non-league at a fairly high standard. And we just rip the piss out of each other on a Monday afternoon, lads, and it seemingly seems to work. And when we do meet each other, I can imagine it being a fight. So yeah, watch this space.
Wait, seriously, you've never met Tank?
We've never met Tank, no. So
I did not know that.
So Jamie lives in Dublin. We're planning on doing a big weekend, all videoed and documented, and we're just going to rip it up for the weekend and then do a hungover podcast on a Sunday, maybe.
That's a great plan, Jim. Now, whether that comes to reality, I can imagine something like what's that one with Bradley Cooper and all the big group of
Hangover.
Hangover. Yeah.
And just none of us return, never to be seen again. Tank riding off on the back of a horse on an Irish racetrack somewhere, you know.
End up fighting Mike Tyson with a bloody, is it a tiger as well in there? I can see that.
Tank, where do you live? Do you live Liverpool or Nottingham, or where do you live?
Sorry?
Where do you live?
You want your address?
It's a place called, it's Alton. It's like a little village, about 20 minutes, half an hour outside Liverpool, like probably similar distance to Manchester.
Now, Tank, he wants you to publicly give everyone your address. That's what he's asking.
Fuck that off.
So let me just get this right. You've just confirmed you're a wool.
No, it's just a lot of ex-Forest players who love Nottingham that much, so a load of them stay here. You know, why would you move back up there? But, you know, fair dues.
That is a good question, then.
No, we speak quite a lot, me and the missus, about that. Like, we half regret coming back, you know what I mean? It was at the time when I was coming out of contract with Leicester, and I was supposed to be going to Wigan, and then I ended up coming back to Forest. But we always say, like, we regret leaving Nottingham. Seriously, it's a fucking incredible place to live.
Yeah.
Lived there for 9 years.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of Forest players still live here. You know, ex-Forest players still live here.
Once you've got the bug, you can't get rid of it.
That's it, isn't it? That's it.
I have to say though, like obviously doing the podcast with Tank, and like I've known Tank longer than Jimmy, so we kicked off the podcast a long time ago. We've been in contact a long time, but again, haven't met. Yeah. Me and Jimmy go way back. One of my closest friends, and I had this idea that getting these two together would be beautiful in the best possible way. And when I get to see them two arguing with each other, it's like everything comes together perfectly. But I have to say, you'll never see a better version of Tank than when he's been in and around Nottingham. If he's been to a game, he comes alive again. You know what I mean? You can see that the Forest blood runs deep in him, which is great to see.
Yeah.
Do you guys, like, is the chemistry exactly the same off the screen? What we see on the screen is identical. I can only, like, because we do the same thing. It's like, I'm sure the WhatsApp group looks very colourful during the day.
We literally, 9 times out. Nine times out of 10, me and Tank are bickering and fighting over some. He's winding me up and I'm winding him up, and then he's very few. And then every now and again we come together in like a beautiful moment of love, and then that lasts for 10 seconds, and we're back. We're like brothers who just hate each other most of the time.
Yeah, well,
we do.
In our chat, we made a decision the other day to stop calling each other cunts, and it lasted about half an hour.
You bloody idiot, man! You know that word demonetizes us.
The issue I have, Ant, is like I'll be sat there with my phone or whatever, and like a nice picture will come up or a video will come up of like a horse going down a track, and then I'll turn the phone up, and then all of a sudden it'll be the sex noise, you know. And like it's at this point now, my son will turn around to me and go, "Tank messenger again, did he, Dad?" Yeah. I'm like, oh my God.
Do you know? There's always at least one person who leaves our WhatsApp group per week in a strop. Yeah, usually him, to be honest. Ant, right? He'll leave it. And then, like 5 minutes later, yeah, hi lads, sorry, I went off the rails a little.
We've never had anyone leave yet, which is surprising. And
mate.
likely to be me or Jamie.
Kick you out a few times.
I don't think Tank would know how to leave. I think that's the problem, isn't it? By the way he joined this fucking stream, how would he leave a WhatsApp group, man?
I only leave because I like to watch him grovel for me to come back. That's the only reason I leave.
Never happened.
Oh, fucking hell, boys. This is going to be an interesting one. Eid Mubarak as well to you, Samir and Tara. Oh, fuck, he's gone. He's gone.
He's had enough. Gone. He's left the WhatsApp group.
Good riddance, yeah. He pressed the leave button and figured that one out. All right, he's back. Hold on. Let me add him in. Ez, ask you questions while I get Tank back in. Fucking hell, Tank.
Yeah. No. Jimmy, I was just going to ask, mate, has your wife been cooking for you again this week?
Not this one, mate. We've had a takeaway tonight because I don't...
Tell them a story if you've not heard it.
Oh, my
please.
God. So,
unbelievable.
We were... my wife, we ordered some Hello Fresh where they send you the ingredients and you make it, and we ordered some
Jimbo,
sausage.
move over a little bit so we can see your face, your beautiful face there, mate. You're right.
Yeah. And Tank, they're saying in the chat.
Go back.
Yeah, go back.
Yeah, same with you, Tank. They're saying in the chat, back up a bit. All they can see is your teeth.
Yeah, because I don't know where to hold it because I'm on the phone. I've got the phone in my hand.
What about your phone?
Yeah.
Hey, there he is.
Wait, can't you put it on the desk?
Yeah, but,
oh, fucking hell, man. You're going to give them all epileptic fits in the chat, man.
Lads,
and there's the chin. All right, yes, that's good. Okay.
I warned you in advance of this podcast. It took me 2 years to get Tank to turn his microphone on.
All right, now Tank, you move to your right, I believe, yeah?
See, don't start this, mate. I have a problem with this fella scratched me head and it's the opposite side.
All right, chat, are you happy with this position? Crypto saying get a new phone.
He's
right, it's like that Cloverfield film, innit, with Tank on.
Blair Witch Project.
Sorry, go on, Jimmy.
Yeah, so my wife had ordered this Hello Fresh, and she made me some sausages, but the sausage came with like apples and mango, like all weird fruit. I was like, I'm not eating that. So she made me some homemade wedges, and she brings it to eat. And I ate one of these wedges. It was like real gritty. I was like, what's on these wedges? She's like, oh, I'll put you some salt on. I was like, what do you mean? Some peri salt? I was like, all right. So I ate some more. I was like, it's like eating gravel, this. So I ate like 3 or 4. I was like, I can't eat these, babe. She's like, well, just leave them then. In a mood with me. Like, well, what do you want me to do? So anyway, 2 days later, she comes to me. She went, you know that wedges I made you with the peri salt? I was like, yeah. She's like, it wasn't peri salt. I was like, what was it? And she goes, it's this bloody fresh bin powder. I was like, how did you get mixed up? She was like, well, it looks like the salt, like the rock salt tube. She said it looked like that, so I thought I was putting salt on for you. I was like, no wonder.
Hey, isn't that like poisonous on that?
Mate, it kills 99.9% germs, mate.
Isn't that shit Trump was trying to use to get rid of COVID, mate, wasn't it?
I tell you what, my farts have been smelling fresh all week, lad.
The thing is, Jimmy, we've been there, haven't we? Because you can't, when your missus serves you up something. By the way, my missus, I'm not talking about her. Never once has she served up anything bad. Yeah, everything's spot on. But hypothetically speaking, when that dish comes out, and you take that first bite, and maybe it's a little undercooked or something. Yeah, you get too scared, don't you? You're like, I might as well stomach it, rather than take the beating of that look or that glare in there. I don't know. We all kind of whipped here, or was it just me on that one?
I couldn't eat gravel, though. I was like, I can't eat them, mate. She did try.
You got to draw the line somewhere, mate.
I was like, look, I ate 4. I had a good go. And she's like...
All right, guys in the chat, there's over 100 of you already in here. We've only got 32 likes. Hit that like if you haven't already, and please go and subscribe to the Legends That Are Boot Room podcast. We got so many questions, but I'm going to open a Q&A for the guys in the chat as well. You guys don't mind taking a few questions from your beloved fans, do you? So let's get questions.
Hang on, before we start, anyway, I've got to have a word with Tank, because it's something, I loved him as a player, proper wholehearted player, good player.
Is this when you're about to call him a prick?
He did something that pissed me off that I just can't get over, and that's he scored that fucking goal against Manchester United, made it 1-1, gave me fucking hope, and made me stay for the rest of the bleeding game.
You're talking about the game we shall not talk about?
Yeah.
With the scoreline we shall not talk about.
Yeah. I can remember it going in and thinking, this is it.
So did we.
Yeah, it wasn't, was it?
No.
Mate, do you know how much I hate Man United?
You told me that game was a draw. What are you talking about?
I told our Jack that. I told him when he stopped playing. Honestly, till he was about 12 years of age, our Jack thought that game ended 1-1. And he'd be like, Dad, you know that game? And I was like, yeah, because YouTube kicked in then, didn't it? And I was like, different game, that, mate.
It was fucking
what was it at halftime? I can't remember. I don't want to remember. But what was it?
2-1, I think.
2-1, I think.
Yeah.
Listen,
how the fuck did you throw 6 goals?
I've got a confession, right? I've got a confession to make. I was lucky. I wasn't on that pitch. I never leave matches early, but on that, I fucking hate Man U. And on that game, I left at 4-1. I got back to my car, put the radio on, and it was 8-1. And I remember the commentator, must have been Colin Frey, I guess, saying, "For pity's sake, referee, blow the whistle."
They put us out of misery.
Do you know the mad thing about that on a serious note? Do you know if you look at the last 4 goals of that game, right? Just have a look. Have a look how many defenders we've got, because Big Ron was just shit, and I was on that side the second half, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, get forward. He used to call me little man. He's like, little man, just keep getting forward. I'm like, it's 4-1, gaffer. Get forward. There's goals in the game, and I'm like,
yeah, for United.
Honestly, I'm looking and going, you've got Roy Keane, Beckham, Giggs, Cole, York, but he thinks there's goals in the game for us. I'm like, is he fucking round?
Yeah, but he didn't know the own fucking dugout, did he? He went into the goddamn away dugout.
He was a man, honestly.
Hey, listen, don't knock it. We fucking pray for our current manager to say, get forward, lads.
Mate, can we talk about like that little patch? Because I got a few questions as well, right? I don't know if I can ask you or not, but fuck it, I'm gonna ask you. I want to know about the whole strike thing. Van Hooijdonk, man, one of my all-time heroes growing up. Yeah, I honestly thought when we went up, that party season, I thought the team looked good enough, and then obviously the whole Campbell selling and all that shit happened, and then the strike action. What was it like from the players' side of things? In that, I really would be interested to know. And like, how was it when Hooijdonk came back? Because I remember when he scored when he came back, and I can't remember who it was against, but like 2 or 3 players only went to celebrate with him.
Only Thierry Bonnelet celebrated him.
That was it. Yeah. Had you lot boycotted him?
It weren't a case of that, because like, look, when we got promoted that season, I hand on heart believe that we'd have been an established Premier League side.
I agree.
Because you go to the sides, we had experienced who'd already been in the Premier League.
Yeah.
We had young players, like I was only 20. We had Andy Johnson, who was only 21. We had young up-and-coming players. We had a mixture of Kev Campbell and Pierre Van Hooijdonk. No matter who they played against, whether they would cause every team problems and would score goals. We had Steve Stone, Bart Williams, Scott Gemmell. We had an unbelievable mix. We had an unbelievable side with 1 or 2 additions. So, but then you started, like, you were on holiday, and we were getting the vibes off. Like, my agent was ringing me going, "There's going to be a sell-off at the club," and I was like, "Yeah, don't be so fucking stupid." He was like, "Look, there's whispers that the chairman's looking to cash in and play." And we were like, "Why? Right. Why would you get to the Premier League and then sell players?" So then, so when with Pierre, it was like I was too young to be, kind of
seniorish.
I wasn't a senior player. I was a young player. I was fucking. But when he come back, like the main one who went for him, like in a big way, and listen, I'm going to be honest with you, Pierre absolutely shit his pants was when Jeff Thomas went for him.
Hard man Jeff, fucking hell.
Because Jeff was a big, powerful man, and he took absolutely no prisoners and no shit.
Wait, this was when Pierre came back.
Yeah. This is when he come back. Like, we were all pissed off, but you don't do what you done. You just simply don't do what you done. You just go out. If you're gonna fall on your sword, but fall on your sword together.
Did he go for him in the dressing room, Tank?
Like, he come in and he was like, Jeff was just like, "Who the fuck do you think you are, you?" And he was like, "What?" And Jeff just stood up. And at the time, Jeff, I always remember that Jeff had a knee injury, and he was battling the gym. He was a man mountain. And he just stood up with his top off, and Pierre, there was just diarrhea everywhere. He shit. Absolutely shit himself. And a few boys stood in, and Jeff was like, "See you cunt." And he was going, "Whoa." So, but no one was really speaking to him or nothing. You had Thierry Bonnelet. Thierry was the nicest kid you'll ever come across in your life. Really nice, soft-spoken fella. Just wanted to keep the peace. No one really spoke to him, to be honest.
But did it?
Was it your was it your debut season that we got promoted, or was it your second season with us?
No, that was my debut season. Yeah.
Yeah, thought so. You've quite such an impact, mate. You've fucking because you were taken over from one of the greatest, mate. Yeah. One of the greatest in Forest history. How was that like? And what did he pass anything on to you before he left?
He was amazing
at that young age as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he was amazing, to be fair. I always remember I was on, like with my wife now, I was on holiday in Cucan. What's it called? Yeah, is it Mexico? Cancun.
Cancun. Here we go. Cucan. Oh, honestly, it doesn't matter what the name is, whether it's a player, a place, Cucan.
Honestly, and like no one had mobile phones back then, so I was in the hotel just lying on the bed and the phone ringing, and you're like, "Why is that ringing?" And then I picked it up, and it was Mark Arthur. You remember him?
Yeah.
So he's on Alan. It's Mark Arthur from Nottingham Forest. He says, "Look, we've had permission to speak to you," and I swear to God, I've got a mate, Les, who's like a bit of an idiot. Andy Johnson shot him. So I went, "What?" He went, "It's Mark Arthur," and I've just gone, "Fuck off, Les, you dickhead," and put the phone down. And then the phone rings again. He was like, "Alan, it's Mark Arthur from Nottingham Forest. Don't hang up." He says, "We've had permission to speak to you." And he's like, "Will you fly home?" I went, "Fuck off, mate. I just paid 1,800 quid for this holiday." And then I spoke to Pierce, and that's how it all come about. So
amazing. It's a shame because obviously when you get promoted, the vibe is so good. Everybody's so positive, and you go into the next season, and that happens with Kevin Campbell and Van Hooijdonk, and all of a sudden it just goes to shit. The team gets destroyed. It
was horrible because as you say, you get the promotion season where, like, honestly, we didn't want the season to finish. No, we wanted to stay and just come straight into the Premier League. And then all of a sudden, you're getting players like Colin Cooper was getting sold, and no disrespect, like Dougie Freeman and Neil Shipley. David, the players who were coming in, you're like, two good lads. Don't get me wrong. Ships is a great lad. He was what he was as a player, but you go from Kevin Campbell and Pierre Van Hooydonk to Dougie Freeman to Neil Shipley. It's kind of like, as players, you're like, how are we letting this happen?
Yeah. I can remember when we were linked with Shipley. No disrespect to the guy, I just say I've heard he's a good guy. But when we were linked to him, I was like, fucking hell, no! Yeah. What? He can't score. You've gone from Van Hooydonk and Campbell to Shipley.
It is, because I just remember, like, again, I'm this ain't going to be a Van Hooydonk stream. I still love him, right? But whenever the ref would blow his whistle anywhere in the opponent's half, you're marking it down like a penalty. Those free kicks.
That's a big thing. Yeah, when we used to get a free kick from like 30 yards out, it was like celebrating a penalty. It was like, that's it.
It was so consistent. But
Were they good to watch in training sessions and shit?
Honestly, I'm being serious with you. The senior players, we used to watch them, the free kicks. You'd finish training, you'd get a bag of balls, and sometimes he'd put a keeper in, and it didn't matter if there was or there wasn't, because they couldn't save them. And he just fucking smashed them in. I just used to think, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, the power. And, like, no matter what angle, but he always hit the target. If he didn't score, the keeper would have to save it. He was... Look, he was a special talent, Pierre. He was a pleasure to play with, but just a bit of a cunt.
Yeah.
Egos, isn't it?
We don't mind that. As fans, we don't give a shit what the players are like off the pitch. If they could do it on the pitch, we don't care. But obviously,
you got to have the atmosphere in it. That team, as Tank was saying, we all felt it. Even as a kid, I was looking at that team thinking, we're walking this. We'd done it before, finished third under Frank Clark. You're looking at it thinking, this team potentially is better. It's obviously Collymore is Collymore back before them, but and that's why when we come up this year, Tank, I'm there saying fucking fourth.
Well, this is the difference, isn't it? And I'll tell you, we never had any money. Those two promotions we had, even though we bought Brian Roy in that first one under Frank Clark, we didn't spend money on any other players really. And obviously that second time it ended up being a fire sale and selling our best players. We've never had it like we've had it this season, where we've spent the amount of money, where we've actually had money to spend.
Yeah, it's worked out well, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, one at you lads, out of curiosity, right? Because this is something that I've spoke to a number of fans on, and obviously you talked there, and obviously Tanker spoke at length to us about the good times that he had in getting promoted back into the Premier League, quality of the side, and the likes. And then when teams get into the Premier League, it's pitched as the golden goose. That's where everybody wants to be, right? But for a lot of promoted teams, it's very difficult to sustain a level of form, and you'll get turned over a lot. And it's very, like we had a conversation at the start of the year in the podcast, and we said, look, for Forest, if you come fourth bottom, happy days. It's a great, it's a really good season because it's very difficult to stay in the league. Can I ask you, from a fan's perspective, is it better to play in the Championship and win a lot and get lots of great times, or when you move into the Premier League and you have, as a fan, you've got to accept, look, some days it's just not going to be our day. This, take your medicine and move on. Where do you sit on that?
I'll jump in first, Jamie, on it. Because we haven't really been that consistent even in the Championship, mate. We have a good season, and then we'll have a really poor season where we'll be fighting relegation. So it's not as if we'd had even a consistent run, but 23 years, and unfortunately, all three of us have lived through that, and Dino, when he does join us, he's the same. That was painful, mate. We weren't really too close on too many occasions. So what happened last season was absolute miracle. From a bottom 1 point from 7 to getting almost automatic promotion, and ended up going up through the playoffs. It couldn't have happened a better way. But the knock-on effect is, a lot of people will say we went up probably a season too soon.
That's bollocks. That's bollocks.
You go up when you go up. That's what we've said. And the other point we'll make is that you do everything to stay up. And this is where, I know, Tan, you've been a big supporter of Cooper, and you would say stick with him at all costs, even if we go down.
We'll get on to Coops. Let's get Ant's answer on that one as well. Ant, Prem or Championship?
Yeah, no, it's kind of strange really, because obviously, when you're in the Championship like last season and you're winning game after game and you're scoring loads of goals, of course it's fantastic. You love every game. You can't wait This season's been entirely different, but I still wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want to go back.
You still want Premier League, yeah?
Yeah, still want Premier League. We're seeing the best players in the world, and we're seeing football at a quality, at a level that we've not seen for a long time. We're not doing it, unfortunately. It's the other teams, but it's still great to see. And I would take 17th in the Championship to 3rd in the 17th in the Premier League to 3rd in the Championship any day of the week. Yeah. I love it. I love being back. You know what, as well? It's like, it's everything that goes with it as well. It's the attention your club gets. It's the prestige your club gets. It's the respect your club gets. Nobody knows. I mean, I don't even know who's in the Championship anymore. I've only been out there 1 year. And I couldn't tell you who's in it. You know what I mean? It's gone. I don't care. And that's how most football fans are, I believe.
I've just put the poll in the chat. So guys in the chat, there's over 150 of you already. Get your answers in. Losing the Prem or winning the Championship? 72% are saying losing the Prem, and 27% are saying winning the Championship. I'm quite surprised by that, to be honest. I'll leave that open. To
be honest with it, I think though that I imagine people are thinking, yes, we like to be in the Championship, winning every game, not. We'd prefer to play in the Championship. I think that's the...
Yeah, I know, but I agree with what Ez said. We weren't freaking fighting promotion off year in, year out. Yeah, there's a reason we were in there 23 years. Let's not forget we dropped out of the Championship as well. For me, give me the Prem, but give me some fucking better style of football, please. I know what you guys are saying about you got to go in, sweat it out, and earn the right and everything. But honestly, like even the team where you came up, Tank, you had more fight than this team is showing, in my opinion. You guys weren't fucking low blocking, 20% possession. We were shit. Don't get me wrong back then. No offense, we were, but there was some fight there.
We had to go. No, we did have to go. We knew that our backs were good against the ball, but we had to go. We had the right go.
Yeah. I think I remember we played Newcastle. It was like a 0-0. It was a proper sweaty match. But even at 0-0, that game was entertaining. There was chances both ends. I think I remember Haaland hit the post and all this shit. There was like stuff going on. At the moment, we just get excited if we see the opposition's goalkeeper. That's how like low blocky it's getting. And it's making me worried shitless about tomorrow. Dino, how are you, bud?
Hello, how are you guys?
Welcome. Dino's been doing another stream as well. We've been whoring him out a little. Good to have you back, Dino.
What's going on with Arsenal?
Jimmy, I want to get your Jimmy, your perspective on Forest and what you think, because obviously we're looking at it with Forest goggles, tinted Forest goggles on. What have you made of Forest? And, I know you will, but as always, we like just honesty and bluntness on here. How have you seen Forest, maybe in comparison as well to the others that have come up, the Bournemouths and the Fulhams, etc.?
I think from a footballing perspective, what you were doing really well was making, and I've said this on our podcast many times, is you made the City ground an absolute fortress, and you had them probably about 6 weeks, and it was after what game did you go to, Tank? It was the League Cup, wasn't it? I think
Spurs.
Where I think you beat them on penalties. Am I right?
Oh, Wolves, Wolves.
Wolves game, and you had that, and then I think the week after or a couple of weeks after is when you beat Liverpool at home.
And then
you just. You're welcome, mate. Any time to mention Liverpool losing, and you had a real solid building blocks of this home form, and forget about the away form because it didn't. Although it was a crux to hit you with, it wasn't really something that was going to keep you up. It would be your home form, and then it seemed to turn where people started getting onto Cooper's backs, and then they were getting onto the players' backs, and then it just seemingly. So from now, what I see is a team devoid of any confidence to do anything. So what they're hoping for is to get a scrappy 1-0, and maybe get a couple of breaks, because they're scared that if they try and play expansive football, that if anything goes wrong, straight away crowd's going to be on them. So that's what I see from this current Forest team at this moment in time. Where Bournemouth are differing now is they're not scared to just go, right, fuck it, let's go for it and try and go for them wins.
That's it.
Crystal Palace have done it amazingly under Hodgson, of all people. He's let Elise, he's let Eze, and he's let the striker, AU, just let them three go. You go do what you want to do, and we'll shore up the back. And they've got the results. So that's what I think you've missed, is that real togetherness at the City Ground.
Can I just say, though, I'm sorry, I have to disagree with you about the City Ground. The City Ground is fucking immense. You won't hear any.
I agree.
You won't hear any Cooper boos. You won't hear any player boos. The atmosphere at the City Ground is fucking outstanding. Sell out
constantly, or if something goes wrong,
constantly,
mate. It's
weird.
I remain.
We could be losing 8-0, and those fans will still be singing the Forrester Magic on off the pitch.
It's weird, mate.
It's
crazy. Is it the age-old thing, lads, where real? I don't want to say real fans, and getting myself in trouble here, but fans.
You
in
fucking will, mate. Yeah.
Fans in stadiums versus social media fans, and social media fans whip up a storm. Because I remember, and I'll give you a quick story, right? I remember this is when Liverpool were at the worst, and
was that last week?
Kyrgiakos was playing centre back, right? Lucas Leiva was in midfield. We went away to Stoke. City, and it was a 0-0, right? It was honestly.
Was it a cold Tuesday night?
It was, ironic, it was genuinely, and we couldn't do it on a cold Tuesday night either, to be fair. But we went there, right? And it was a horrendous performance, as bad as it could get. But I don't know if you've been to the Stokes ground, right? Britannia. And you know where the tunnel is in the corner of the stadium. Yeah. So anyway, at half time, the players were walking past the away fans, and the applause and support that they got after serving up one of the worst first half performances, and that stayed with me. And you could see, we ended up drawing the game, right? It didn't, but you could see that the players, it meant something to them. Whereas if you compare that reaction, like I always say, if Liverpool were playing the Champions League final like in Istanbul, and it was the social media fans that were in the stadium, they all would have left at half time. Do you know what I mean? Whereas but it's genuinely the truth. Whereas if you hear the accounts of the Liverpool players that night, they could hear the fans 3-0 down singing "You'll Never Walk Alone," and that lifted them. And like what Ant was saying there, I think if Forest have any chance to stay in the league, that connection with the supporters is going to be the thing. You've seen it with Everton last year, and Frank Lampard. I think Frank Lampard is a total spoofer. I don't know how he continues to get jobs, but he was able to muster something up with the Everton fans purely because he wasn't Rafa Benitez, and it dragged them over the line. So I think that'll be a big one.
I get what you're saying. But I kind of disagree with bits of it. Like, I'm pissed at the football we're serving up. I'll shout and scream at the players, call them cunts and pricks, etc. But if I'm at the grounds, the rules are different. You support them while you're there. They're in earshot. Me screaming here at the TV all night and all day, they ain't gonna hear me. But at the ground, you back them. You have your thoughts before the match, and you have your criticisms after the match. But in those 90 minutes where they cross the white line, and I think that is the psyche of a lot of Forest fans, be it the ones who go or can't go or whatever, you know. And that's where I see it. And I think we have more of that than some other fan bases do. But we have been toxic in the. I mean, fucking Houghton. But go on, you got your finger.
I was to say, I could tell you now, we have outsang. Our away supporters outsang the home supporter every single game this season, and you'll see this tomorrow at Liverpool. Forget the Anfield atmosphere. You will hear our fans. I can promise you that now. They just are incredible.
Like a Man City,
incredible.
It was ridiculous.
Let me ask a question then, because Ant, you said you left when you were losing 8-1 against Man United, right?
Plastic fan, mate. Plastic fan.
Okay. Tank was saying that Ron Atkinson was saying, "Get forward, lads," because his goals in the game. So Ron Atkinson seemingly playing the football that you want to see.
I know where Jimmy's going with this here now.
But you've lost 8-1. So let's say Cooper switches it up now and says, "Right, fuck it, lads, let's go for it," and you end up losing 8-1. What's your reaction then?
I would be pleased. Because quite frankly, we've been playing the lowest of low blocks all season, and we're getting hammered anyway.
I'm still getting hammered.
You want to go out on your... If you're going to go out, go out on your shield.
Exactly. Let's not go dive wondering, mate.
We attacked. If we went progressive and attacked tomorrow and we lost 8-0, I would not be pissed off. I can assure
Yeah, but Jimmy's offering you a goal, and that's like a fucking World Cup final for us. 8-1, isn't it? I'll take an away goal. We've only seen 5 of them.
Yeah. 1-1 at Anfield at half time.
For what I gather, Tank's a Cooper in man. I personally would keep Cooper myself, but anyway.
I'll tell you. I'll give you my take in a minute.
Hang on a sec. We've scored 5 goals away from home all season.
Worse than
5
any
goals.
league.
Hey, we'll give you a couple tomorrow.
6. Sorry, 6, Sam. 6.
Sorry, 6. Sorry.
Still worse than any league.
Dino, Dino, jump in, Dino. Firstly,
Tank was going to say something.
I'll give you my take on where I think the Forest predicament is at the minute. Everyone knows there was a load of players signed, but they had to sign, and I've always said that from day one. The players needed to be signed because the amount of players up and leaving.
Yeah.
But you've got a lot of players who've never been in and around the Premier League. Let's get it right here, by the way. The signings, what were brought in, the big names, the big Premier League players, have not done it. They simply haven't done it.
Lingard's been shit. Yeah.
Exactly. So
when
you're looking towards these senior players in the times that you need now, you've not been able to rely on them. So we're relying on young players or players from foreign countries who played in different leagues. And you look at Brennan Johnson. His rise has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
2 seasons ago, he was top goal scorer for Lincoln.
Yeah.
And then he was top goal scorer for Forest last season, and he's top goal for Forest this season. These young lads take time, and and I know I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent. This is the reason for me why, if the worst comes to the worst, and I still don't believe it will, I still think Forest will pull a couple of results out. I think there's worse teams in the league like Everton than Forest. I think if the worst comes to the worst, I do think that Forest will have a young, really good, aggressive, hungry side to bounce. But Sean Dyche done it about 8 years ago with Burnley. They got promoted to the Premier League, they got relegated, and he says, we'll sort the training ground out, we'll bounce back. They bounced back up, and he stayed up for 8 seasons. So
yeah, but Tank,
that's my reason for that.
Tank, I
would say Cooper has had the hardest job of any manager this season. He had 25 new players come in. And not only that, we have suffered the worst injuries of any team in the Premier League. Our injury list right now is shocking. So I do accept that. I do accept that he's got a hard job.
Yeah, but can I make an argument back, Tank? Right, when we went down with our team, as in when you were playing, yeah. Did anyone expect us not to come back up the following year?
But I don't think. See, the difference with this Forest side and the Forest side back then is we had a chairman who was just doing a free-for-all sale. He was selling everyone. Where this chairman now is buying everyone. I'm telling you now, this Forest
but aren't you seeing similarities almost in a mirrored version? Is there not going to be a fire sale at the end of the season where it's like, these guys are on big wages. We've got the parachute payment. You think that'll all stick?
No, I'm being honest with you. I think it's in the back of the mind. Forest have got a majority of these signings are young good players, and I just think if Forest got relegated this season, I think it would be the massacre the Championship next season. And then if you add more quality to it when you come up the season after, you'll have all of these players who are experienced, they've worked under Cooper another season, they've won the Championship, add a few more, get a proper goal scoring. Because look, lads, no matter what level of football you are only as good as your front men. If your front men score you 20 goals a season, if you've got one of them in your side, you've got a chance of being successful. Whether your ambitions to stay in the league, mid-table, Europe, or to win the league, you need goal scorers. And I just think Forest, if the worst does come to the worst, they'll absolutely massacre the Championship next season at a canter. They'll do what Burnley's done.
But I can't see Brennan staying, Tank. I don't see Brennan staying. And I see a lot of the big names who have performed this year fucking off as well. And you know what? I wouldn't hold it against them. And then we're in the situation we were in when, your team came down. That's my worry for it, because there's a lot of people saying Cooper will be the guy to bring us back up. And I'm like, we've seen bigger names go into the Championship as Forest players before, and we got fucking stuck there for 23 years. My argument is we're in the Premier League now, yeah. Let's fucking stay there. Why try and do this whole plan? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
100%. Listen, I'm talking about worst case scenario.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Let's look at the Forest side. The Forest side got promoted to the Championship through the playoffs. to the Forest side what's now. Take all the injuries away. Forest, me personally, I think that Forest, if they had a lot less injuries this season, wouldn't even be in the relegation battle.
Yeah,
I genuinely believe that.
What was your prediction at the start of the season? You had bags of confidence, didn't you?
I had Forest as a top
6,
top 10 this season.
I do agree. If and this is the thing, if we keep the majority of the players we've got, I agree, we will storm that championship. I do agree with that. My fear is, will we keep them up? Nobody can say.
But Burnley went down and lost a lot of their players, didn't they? And they've absolutely stormed the championship with a
but Norwich and Watford, Jimmy. What about Norwich and Watford?
But they've not had that steady base, have they?
But we haven't, Jimmy. We haven't either.
You've got Cooper now. Cooper came in 18 months ago and took you off the bottom.
Oh, Dino, jump in.
Go on.
Dino, let's hear from Dino. Firstly, welcome, Dino. It's good to have you back.
One quick point for Dino comes in.
Of course, go on.
The advantage we've got, and Tank's absolutely right in this, is we have a fantastic owner, which a lot of clubs that go down don't have. They panic, shit the bed, and they get rid of the players, and that's it, they're gone. We have a fantastic owner, and that owner will not want us to languish back down there. He'll want us to come back, and he'll do his best to make sure we do, and that is what we have.
All right, just Dino, I want you to jump in, but chat, I'm going to put a poll out. If Forest went down, and obviously none of us here were hoping that happens, right? Do you think we bounce up first season? I want to see what the chat thinks. Dino, good to have you, mate. Have you had a nice 10-minute break in between streams? Are you okay? You are?
I've had no break between streams. Came straight over, my friend.
Trooper. Fucking trooper. Give us your thoughts on what you're hearing, and say hi to the legends as well.
Hi, legends. Tank, oh my God. Can you still play, buddy?
No.
I've been trying to get him to play for my over 35s team, Dino. If he's not playing for my over 35s team.
Hey, no, we're all right at left back. Loddy's fine. Loddy's fine, yeah. Tank, you could do right back. Inverted a bit.
For me, whether we're in the Championship or Premier League, our play style is shocking at the minute. We've got 30% possession. I keep banging on about it every week. That's a big problem for me. We're one-dimensional. We've got no plan B. You know, we've got no. I know it sounds really daft, but I'm sure, Alan, in your day, you had a first, a left back, and then you had a backup left back. You had a right back and a back, all the way up the pitch. We don't have that. We kind of got MGW. If we take him off, then we change the formation. Do you know what I mean? Rather than bringing a like for like on, see the likes of Bournemouth doing in other clubs, we tend to just. So I think it's a bit of a mess from top to bottom, and I think the actual play style, take Cooper out of it, the play style that the club's got at the minute, I really despise. Yeah. Very, very low block, very low possession, home and away. Low possession equates to low chances. And when we're not clinical, like we're not at the minute, and somebody mentioned goals earlier, take Jono's goals out, we'd be stuffed. We're getting nothing from anywhere else on the pitch in terms of goals.
No shots on target.
Problem. So there's a lot of problems throughout the club. I think the recruitment has been hit and miss, like all recruitment is. But when you're buying players that are already injured, you're buying players that like Lingard and Shelby, who haven't had a pre-season, haven't played. They're already unfit when they come in. It's just asking for trouble. So I think, we've just got to go with two of our best players this season have been our two juniors, Yates and Jono. And that says it all about the recruitment, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think the issue you've got is the Premier League's the hardest league in the world, regardless of anything. If you're bringing in 20-odd players and 80% of them haven't played in the Premier League, it's never going to be easy to try and get them to gel as a team for one, but to get to the standard of a Premier League team and every team down there can't score. Everton, God help them, Jesus Christ, they're worse off than you. They've got one strike. At least you've got two or three who can't score. They've just got one.
But if you look at team versus team, let's take Liverpool versus Forest, okay? If you picked the best 11 out of all those, Felipe'd have an argument to be in that 11, but that's it. The others would be all Liverpool players, and that so we are lacking in a certain amount of quality as well. But quality plus play style plus changing tactics plus going into the season wanting to play 5 and then end up playing 4 and then back to 5 again. It's all leading to just a complete clusterfuck this year's season, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you the only thing what I do like you, but I think part of it's because you got Forest back where Forest should be, and I think I'm more like thinking, well, there's been so many managers in over 23-year period. The thing what concerns me the last 6 or 7 games is the formation what he's playing, because when you're in the dogfight and you're not winning games and you're conceding goals and you're not scoring goals, the first thing you do is you try and be really difficult to play against. And I just don't understand why he's playing 2 in midfield against these big clubs who outnumber 100%. Them. And you've got the young boy from Wolves. I'm not going to say his name, so get every name right.
No, go on, please try.
Go on, have a go, please.
Go on.
Morgan Gibbs-White.
Hey. Call him MG Dub, man. MG Dub. He nice and easy, man.
I love him. I think he's a gem of a player, but I just don't understand why you're just playing two central midfield players against a Manchester United who are strong in midfield area. We've got some really, Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro and the likes of them, and you're going to struggle going against them in a matchup 1v1. But then when you're giving them a numerical advantage in midfield, well, in my opinion, you're asking to be fucked. You're asking if anything, go back to a back 4 and play 3 in midfield and a diamond and sacrifice a wide man, but just be compact and difficult to be beaten. Stay in the game in the first 40 minutes.
Fully agree. Tank, do you feel it as from a player's perspective? Yeah, does formation? Do you feel it on the pitch when it's changed, when you've gone from a 3/5 back to a 4 back? Can you feel it? Especially you as a left back, potentially you would have had to go as a left wing back. The role changes quite a lot, doesn't it? And do certain players feel more comfortable?
Yeah, you do. It's like certain centre-halves. Like when I played at Leicester, I know we should be mentioning them, but I had to completely change my game when I went to Leicester because I had 2 slugs next to me in Jerry Taggart and Matthew Elliott. Yeah. And if I went forward and that was my game, they were like, "Where the fuck are you going? Get back here!" Where my role of Forest, I could always go because I had Chets and Coops and Des Little, and we had Cook with Des. He was quick, so the formation, you do feel it as a player, yeah.
And do you guys get a say in it as players, or is it just like you'd sit down, the manager would be like, right, today we're playing this, either do it or you're not playing kind of thing? Or could that depend on the character of the manager?
No, you don't. No matter what, and I've been in some big changing rooms with some big personalities, and I've never seen a player question a manager with his tactics or his formation. It doesn't happen. We'll go back to the changing room and say he's useless in that cunt. What's he on about
the sly, won't you? You'll never say it out loud.
We'll stab him behind his back, but we won't say it to him.
But would that is that the start of where things start to turn, where a manager can lose the dressing room, where those kind of Chinese whispers are going on behind the scenes? I mean, would it not even be something you go to a captain with, and just get them, or a senior player? Let's say you didn't like what was happening. Could you have gone to like a Cooper or a Chettle or something and maybe got them talking to the manager? Or was it just between you guys that would end up?
No, Coops was brilliant, and Ali Bassett was brilliant, and if there was something like that, Coops would have a conversation, but players wouldn't go to your manager. I've got to be honest, I'm sat here as with my ex-player hat on, watching Forest, thinking, why? Yeah, why are you playing 2 midfield, and it just doesn't make sense. And I fear for Forest tomorrow. If Forest go to Liverpool and play 2 in midfield tomorrow, Forest could be on the end of a harden. And if you've got 3, because Liverpool, you've got Mo Salah, and let's get it right, Liverpool fans, we absolutely love him. He's a fucking cheat. He won't do nothing, defensively. So Forest are going 3 at the back and just 2 midfield, but then Forest are going to be in big trouble. For me, you go to Forest, you go to Liverpool tomorrow, and you compact, you're tight, and you give nothing away.
It's 3-1 Southampton. This is unbelievable.
Tank said Arsenal winning the league this week. Don't listen to him. He knows nothing.
You know what? I was going to say as well. You know what? Our back line, we've got Champions League winner in goal, got Lozier at left back, Aurelien at right back, Felipe and Niakate in the middle. That back back line is as good as anybody's in the bloody league. So it's got to be down to the players in front of them that are exposing them.
There's some disjoint between the three units. I can see.
Definitely.
We don't seem to travel well between the three.
He's injured, shoulder injury at the minute. He had an illness. He was having dizzy spells.
It's a little secret squirrel, Tank, but I don't know. There's like talks of, there's all rumors that flew around. The official word right now is he's still nursing a shoulder injury. But what Dino's saying there, and Ant is spot on, there's a disconnect between the three lines. Yeah. And it's like, that. Where does that get fixed? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's so, the passing, my under-12s team that I coach pass better than the Forest team. They can string 3 or 4, Whereas this Forest team just, I can't remember it, apart from the goal against Man City. That's the only time, in it, boys, that we strung passes together. And you could see what we could do. But everything is like, we get the ball. We never seem to have time on the ball in any part of the pitch. And then it's hoofed forward or aimed at Johnson. Just the tactic seems to be Hollywood ball over the top to Johnson and hope he gets in behind and can score a goal. And that to me is why I'm getting frustrated with Cooper's tactics. Because if I can read him as a layman, it's... Go on, Ant.
I was just about to say, we don't press. That's the thing. We don't press.
No, not at all.
We sit back. We don't press. We don't press in midfield. So obviously the attacking side's coming onto us all the time. So our defence, no matter how good it is, under constant bombardment. Do
you know the one thing that's undervalued though, and we've spoke to Tank about this, is when you make the step up to the Premier League, the intensity of the games and the speed of the games, and it's just so ruthless. I remember watching Forest games at the start of the season, and I was saying to Tank, I was like, Forest are playing well here, and then all of a sudden, boom, the opposition gets half a chance and it's a goal. And then momentum in football.
Yeah, 3 and 5 minutes kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like, Jamie, how the fuck did that just happen?
Yeah. Jamie, you've been in the top flight for a long time, and the difference between the Championship and the top flight is ridiculous.
Night and day.
I mean, my player of the season last year was Scott McKenna. Worrell wasn't far behind him. And you just look at those players this season, they're really, really struggling. Yeah. They're really struggling. The difference, and if you get caught out in midfield in this league and you're stuffed. Tank, what would you do if you were like manager tomorrow? I'd love to know what you would do differently to what's now. What formation? Would you play a bit more on the front foot?
Well, I think I'll play a lot higher, because I think one thing, we spoke about on our podcast about Liverpool. What I would do is I'd select the front three, but it's got sheer pace and power, because Liverpool, any ball over the top, Liverpool give you a chance, boys. Any ball, Liverpool leave 30 yards of empty grass behind every single game. Liverpool are bottom of the league for giving chances up this season. So if that was me, I early on I'd play a back four and I'd compact the midfield, and I'd go 4-3-3, compact the midfield, man for man in the midfield, and I'd just say to my fullbacks early on, put the fucking ball right over their heads, and I'd say, Brennan and whoever's the quick boys, I'd just say, you're playing, and all you're doing is you're making into-out runs all day in this game, and I just played the percentage football. But lads, one word I will say, it's the world of difference as an ex-footballer: confidence.
Yeah,
honestly, but I can't describe to you how much that kills you. I remember I went through a spell at Forest, and I was like the main man. I was scoring goals, creating goals, and I went in the run where I couldn't pass fucking wind. I was struggling to pass 5 yards. I was so bad it was untrue. And I remember the game. I always say to my son, we played Burnley at home, and the fans were out getting on me back because I was getting down the line. I was crossing the ball over the fucking crossbar. I was putting balls out, playing people in and putting them in a stand, and I just got the ball and went, fuck this, and I smashed one in the top corner against Burnley, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm back. And that's just a small thing.
Is it like the yips in golf, Tank? Is it kind of like getting the yips?
I play golf, so I can account to that. I play golf, and I've played football where I've been the same, where once your confidence gone, you just don't want that ball anywhere near you. Anywhere near you, because straight away you're thinking, fuck, if this ball comes near me, it's going to go under my foot, it's going to bobble over my foot.
That's interesting.
You want anything to do with that ball.
It's an absolute killer.
And you it's like a hot potato. You want to give it away, like get it away as far away, because then I can't make a mistake.
And
Jimmy, does that become like a cancer? Does that become like a cancer and spread to the rest of the players?
It depends on the scenario. So for my scenario, it was dependent on the team. I'd gone to a team and there were a bunch of bellends getting on your back, so they were all right. And every time
you fit right in there, you bellend.
And it was, but it can. I've played in teams where you weren't playing well, and everyone was then scared. So it can do, because they'll see one lad, and if it's one of the better lads who's confident on the ball, and he's desperate to give that ball away, then they'll all be doing the same. Like, shit, I don't want to be the one that tries something, and then it doesn't come off, and straight away you're back on the back foot. Then
that's interesting.
Can you imagine what it's like for those boys tomorrow when they walk out Anfield, one win away all season against the bottom of the table side? Can you imagine what their confidence is going to be like if Liverpool get an early goal?
Listen, lads, you know when you go on confidence, let's talk. The perfect example for me is, for the last 3 or 4 seasons, he's been the world's best defensive midfield player, Fabinho.
Yeah.
He's worth about £2.50 at the minute.
He's crap right now.
The last 12 months, he has been, honestly, I mean, Jamie will vouch for me, he's been by a country mile, one of Liverpool's worst players. He literally can't control the ball.
You nearly feel bad for him. Like, that's, it's getting to that stage. You're seeing it now with Harry Maguire, right? He's not an £80 million defender, but he's certainly not the level.
He never was, Jimmy.
But you know what I mean? He's not like, everything is going against him. And like Jimmy was saying before, when I was playing, they brought in a sports psychologist to see a number of the lads. And I remember going.
I was there. Remember as well.
Oh yeah, you were. I remember I was seeing a sports psychologist because of Jimmy. But yeah, to be fair, I remember going through this exercise, and we're talking about confidence and spotting the pass. From playing the game, the worst thing you can do is make footballers think. Tank will say this. Once you start overthinking things, if you start playing on instinct and you see the first pass, usually the first pass is the right one. It might be a little slip pass through the gap into space. When you start second guessing yourself, you'll take a touch, you'll worry, you'll pass it to the side, you might go backwards. And then all of a sudden, those little gaps that you've only got one chance to hit in the Premier League, they're not there anymore. And that's probably where you're coming up against dead ends a few times, because the lads just, they second guess themselves and pick the easy pass rather than the quick one round the corner,
That's really interesting. We've never really spoke about confidence on our channel. We spoke about tactics and formation and players and things like that, form. But yeah, I mean, it's really interesting hearing you guys say that, because I think that's probably been... We've noticed a lack of confidence probably in the last 8 to 10 games, haven't we?
Yeah, and players
you've got pressure as well, haven't you? You've got pressure, you're not playing well, you're down and you're struggling. I've been down there and it's difficult. You're not playing well. And I've got to be honest with you, all the tactics and all of that goes out the window. It doesn't matter. Confidence is on the floor. You can't. Look, I played my best football when everything was on instinct. I mean, let's get it right. Us footballers are not the sharpest tools in the box. So when you're asking us to think about stuff, it's difficult. But when you play on instinct, you don't think about what you're doing. You get the ball and it's just instinct. It's natural. You're like bang, 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 and everything's flowing. But when you're getting the ball, you think, oh, I don't really want this. What if I give it away? What if the crowd turn on me? What if I fuck up? What if I make a mistake? And honestly, them thoughts run through your head. Yeah. And in the end, you just end up kicking the ball out of play and you become shit like Jimmy.
Yeah. Because Jimmy, just going on to the golf point, Jimmy, because I've had the shanks before and the yips, and you just don't know where it's come from. It just suddenly comes. You're mid-round, and it just happens, and you look at it. It's kind of a tin cup moment, isn't it? A bit like Kevin Costner. You look at it and you think, shit, I need to move the change into my other pocket, and then suddenly you just can't hit it. And I found the only way you can get out of it is just to keep hitting balls, man. And you're looking at 90-degree slices. Is it the same, Jimmy, from the football perspective? You just got to play through the yips.
So I was playing golf a week on Thursday ago, and I was like, if anyone plays golf and Stableford scores, I was on 13, 14 points after 4 holes flying. And then after that hole, I triple putted everything from that point. And it just like that. And then all of a sudden I was like, shit, I'm thinking about it too much. Am I hitting it too hard? Am I hitting it too soft? Where's the role? Where's it going? And then that
My
was
club
it.
did have been in the lake.
Not far off. So you then start thinking about things, whereas before, as Tank was saying, before you just, right, I know this is going to go here. I've had my practice swing. I know where it's going. And once that stops, you then really digging deep to find something and just hoping that you find it where it just snaps back into place and you go, yeah, I'm back on this now. Whether that's one decent shot, like Tank says, it's like putting one in the top bin from 40 yards out and you're like, yeah, I've got this again. So yeah, it's about trying to work through it, and that's why they say keep it as simple as you can.
Yeah.
Because if you're low on confidence, and if you're trying 300-yard drives to draw it round a tree, when you're playing awful, it's not going to work. But if you just hit a nice 7-iron into the middle and play for a par, that's what you've got to do. You've got to get the whole team just doing the simple things, doing it on instinct, and just playing through that.
Yeah, but the thing as well is, I know what you're talking about and putting it with golf, but that's just you in the golf course. Now, imagine if you're hitting that shot and you've got 40,000 people saying you're fucking useless cunt. 40,000 away fans at Anfield saying, Jimmy, you useless prick.
It's bad enough. My playing partner's usually saying that, mate. So,
well, it's true, isn't it, Jimmy? It's like, sometimes when you're on the golf course, you're having a good round and then you've caught the group in front of you. They let you through and you suddenly feel just two extra pair of eyes looking at you. And you think you're on the 18th green at Augusta, don't you? And there, you're going to slice that one. So I'm going to bring you in, and Ez, I want to bring you in as well. Get a conversation. Andy, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say to Tank again that you mentioned that sometimes in the dressing room, the players might not necessarily be on board with what the manager's doing with his tactics and everything. Surely that must have an effect in game. If you're playing like us and it's a low block and you let a goal in, do the players not think, well, with these tactics we're playing, we're just not going to get back into that? Is that not going to affect their confidence as well?
Yeah, it's honestly, when you're down there, you question you as a player, and I've been there, and you question everything. You question yourself, you question the manager, and it's difficult because then you do start looking for other people to blame. And really, you've just got to try and take it on the chin. And Forest just needs an ugly win. Just a horrible, ugly win. And just one goes in off Chris Wood's fat ass and just trickles over the line. And then all of a sudden, you kind of get a lift. But you question, like, I've got no doubt about it. Some Forest players will be there tomorrow. And you've got players, don't forget, you've got players who aren't playing as well at the minute. And they'll be like, well, how the fuck am I not on that team? They haven't won for X amount of time. And it'll be a very low confidence, low changing room of Forest at the minute, because I've been there, and it's just one ugly, dirty, horrible win and goal, and it can just swing the mood like that.
Tank, do the team talks change? When you're low on confidence, do you find that the team talks change before the game and half time?
Yeah, they do, because the managers are not soft. And he's a decent manager, Steve Cooper. It's like, put it this way, say for instance last season, when Forest were flying on the crest of a wave and pushing for automatic promotion, and Forest, the lads weren't playing well, Steve Cooper will be ripping them into them at half time. Fucking not good enough. This is and really going into.
Do you think he's got it in him, Tank? Do you think he's that kind of guy?
He has.
Really? I don't know. MG Dub's come out and said he's soft, and one of the guys. I don't see it in him. I don't know, but obviously you'll know better than I do.
Yeah, I don't mean he's not going to start throwing teacups all over the place. Plates and that, but he does let the players know. But the difference in that is when you're flying high, you can tear into the players. You can't do that now.
You're going to say the game's changed now, hasn't it?
Yeah, you've got to treat them with kid gloves. No, listen, there's still bollocks goes on in today's game. I mean, players do get, put into place if you're not doing it. But when your confidence is this low, and honestly, boys, you can't decide, a bigger impact what confidence has on you. It's like, it's that big, and you can't slaughter these players, because then they're gonna go under completely.
But is that when you need the leaders? You were talking the likes of Jeff, in your time at Forest. Is that where you need those players? Are they the players you kind of turn to and look to for inspiration to lead on the pitch? You always hear the pundits, the ex-footballers talking about it. Is that actually a thing? I
don't think they're in the game anymore, I'm being honest with you. I don't think they're in the game. I think, and this is not me being a stereotypical type, I think the players nowadays are more interested in doing TikToks and social media posts
Yeah.
Where,
very surprised you didn't call it toxic there. You did well.
You've taught him well, Jamie. You taught him well.
But honestly, like the characters what we had in the changing room of Forest, like I've played in some good changing rooms, but that was a proper changing room. We had the young idiots like me and Andy Johnson, and then you had like the Bartman and Kev Campbell, who was a bit more serious, but we could have a laughing joke with. You had Colin Cooper, who was like I used to wreck everyone's changing rooms, and we always left Coops alone. He was a bit like that, and then you had Jeff Thomas, who was just a fucking psychopath.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you missed what he did to Van Hooijdonk, Dino, before you joined. Yeah, psycho. Yeah, you wouldn't cross it.
Really? Well,
I wouldn't cross Jeff Thomas.
Fill me in later with it.
I'll fill you in, yeah. Just very quickly, guys, in the chat, there's over 150 of you in here. We've got 64 likes. And I want a quick reminder, please hit that like button. But more importantly, show the boys some love. I'm loving this, guys. It's just like having a Friday night chat. We've got to get into the match now as well. Please go in here and subscribe to the boot room.
Quid to Tank to get on here tonight, so come on, give us a like.
Yeah, I mean, and we had to get his hair and his everything and his teeth done, so it's,
Tank doesn't get out of bed for less than 10 Bitcoin.
And even we got Jamie a haircut. He's looking fresh as well. So please hit that like button. But more importantly, and guys, I'll get Jamie to check. Jamie, your subscribe account. Can you let us know if it's going up on the Boot Room podcast? Otherwise, we can give our chat a bollocking. Yeah, we're old school with them. Yeah, so keep an eye. Let us know if it's gone up at all. Ez, let's start talking about the game. Yeah. Let's start looking at Liverpool. Obviously, Ez's brother, just for you guys, you three, he's a Liverpool fan as well. He's a prick like you lot. But
don't put me in that bracket.
Well, I don't know if I should or shouldn't, mate. I don't know. Should I? Should I not?
I've known him for 15 years. I still don't know who you support. Genuinely.
He's United.
He's United. I've been to a Nottingham Forest away match at Newcastle United.
Oh, I'm glad you said Nottingham this time.
Thank you, Tank. Thank you for the education, guys. Thank you, Tank, for the education.
But Ez, explain to Jimmy why it's not Notts.
It's just not Notts, is it? It's Nottingham Forest. Notts is Notts County.
Notts County.
And as I'm sure Tank's done a fantastic job, to be honest, because I think you lads got called out early on in the season when you were called
by me.
But you got the education from Tank, so I appreciate that, mate, because somebody had to set him straight.
It's to do with the councils, isn't it? Notts is Notts County Council, and we're in Nottingham. It's to do with the borders, I think.
It's our fucking name. That's what it is.
No, I think it actually goes further back than that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I believe that's what it is.
But I got bollocked once. I got bollocked because the only time I made a cock up was I was trying to save the character limit on Twitter. So I think I might have shortened the name, and this is going back a couple of years now. Yeah. And I was told very, very quickly, "We're not Notts." I was like, "Okay, yeah, I will not make that mistake again."
You got to put an M at the end of Notts, and you'll be fine.
Okay, is that it?
Nottingham is fine. Yeah,
we'd rather be Nottingham than Notts. We get so wound up when people call us Notts Forest. It's ridiculous.
I'm looking to subscribe to the lads podcast here, and I'm looking at our description, and I can't see it.
It's in the title, you bellend.
Yeah, it's in the title. I've just subscribed on it. So
literally, just click the title, and I can't even Tank would know how to do it. Seriously.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Don't push it.
I only subscribed to our channel about 2 months ago.
Here's another one for you. Tank blocked me on Instagram because I was ripping a new one he said something stupid. And then he was like, "Jimmy, I can't unblock you. I don't know how." So I'm still blocked on Tank's Instagram.
Well, I'm subscribed now anyway. So
did you find that big blue link in the title? Yeah. Forrest has subscribed to Arsenal TV by accident. Yeah, exactly. He's an Arsenal fan. Ez, take us into the Liverpool match, mate. How you feeling?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask Jamie the question, mate. I'm seeing it. I want to see from your point of view. Well, I've given my. I told you we're going to win one more away game this season, and it'll be at Anfield, and that's just my delusion talking. But until it doesn't happen, I've got to stick with it. But I do hate my brother, and I do hate Liverpool. But that's going back to when I grew up, mate. All my mates were Liverpool fans. Growing up in Nottingham, you can't take it, mate. But I want to ask Jamie actually, how do you guys see the rest of your season, and how are you looking at tomorrow's game? Is it a potential? Even looking at your amazing home record and our appalling away record, is it a potential banana skin? And what are you really aiming for the rest of the season? Because top 4 looks like it's out of reach for you.
And remember, Southampton are 3-1 up as well. You know, so have that in the back of your mind.
Honestly, now I think every game at the moment for Liverpool is a bit of a potential banana skin, and it's not to sound like a broken record. It's going back to the confidence piece before. Liverpool haven't got much confidence. They're only one mistake away from wilting a little bit now. Given home form has been a little bit better, they have the support of the crowd. The crowd have been fantastic, but if, like Tank said, if you're brave tomorrow, Liverpool will give you chances. Liverpool will give you chances, but if you allow Liverpool to build up a little bit of momentum at home, then it
3-2. Sorry, Jimmy, 3-2.
Is that where you're going? 3-2.
3-2. Come on.
3-2, is it now?
Sorry, Jimmy.
Yeah, no. Look, I honestly think the other night was a big result for Liverpool, and it's been the first time that I've seen a lot of things click. For me now, you're going into that game and you're saying we've basically got 5. Firmino got injured today in training, but you've got 5 top strikers there with, that can really impact games. For Liverpool now to be able to look at 60 minutes and say, do you know what, we might bring on a Darwin Núñez, we might bring on a Diogo Jota. You know, that's such an asset to have now that we haven't had throughout the course of the season. For me, the issue is always, though, going to be the lack of legs in midfield. That's not going to get fixed anytime soon, and we just don't look as solid at the back. Like Tank said before, Liverpool play a very high line. If and I'm not a coach, and I'm not trying to tell people how to be a coach, but if you're struggling, my advice would have been drop 5 yards, take no chances. But Liverpool persist with the high line.
Yeah,
we do not have the cover in centre midfield that we used to have, and that means that we will always be likely to give away a chance or two. So you never know. We haven't got the stability that we used to have, and we were talking about fans before and viewpoints. Liverpool fans used to moan about the Jordan Henderson, Gini Wijnaldum and Fabinho midfield. They used to say there's not enough creativity, they don't offer enough. They're realising very quickly that midfield was the reason that Liverpool was so successful. And now that you don't have those midfielders that are going to run, fight, harry, chase, press, Liverpool look wide open. So, honestly, lads, it could be anything tomorrow. If you're brave and have a go at us, you could get a goal. Absolutely get a goal. And that changes everything. That changes everything.
The midfield I've found compared to in the Championship last season is such a key in the Premier League.
The power, the need for the power and pace and the pressing.
Yeah. You win the midfield, you win most games.
Yeah, if you get a big, strong, aggressive.
Because Liverpool's midfield is so bad. Honestly, it's so bad. I mean, the legs are totally gone. If I'm Cooper, I watch. Is it 3-3?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it?
Let's go.
1 minute.
Oh my God!
Sorry,
I can't
Mike.
believe I'm celebrating. Where's my life come to? I'm excited.
Sorry, Tank.
Minute.
It's been disallowed, lads.
Seriously.
No, just joking, mate.
You're a cunt.
I know.
That was Odegaard in the 88th minute and Saka in
Well,
the
there's
90th.
8 minutes of injury time.
Loads of injury time.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So if I'm Cooper and if they've watched Liverpool, you've just got to go. Your front 6, your midfield 3 and your front 3, you've just got to go with the quickest and the most powerful runners, and you will cause Liverpool no end of problem. What Liverpool's front 3 can do, they can score against the best in the world. But we are the best in the league at giving chances up. So I just thought...
Second best, mate. Excuse me.
No, the worst.
No, don't take away our one thing that we have. We've given up most shots. So, no, Tang, I'm not going to let you know I love you, but I can't let you know fake news and all that. So, sorry.
Well, tomorrow will be Liverpool. And I've got to say, even though I'm a Liverpool fan, I want Forest to win tomorrow. Desperate for Forest.
Tang, come on now. What's
you
just saying? He's saying different
sucking up to his fans. He's sucking up to his fans.
110% want Forest to win.
problem is that
That's
we
not what
can
you text
chilly
in the
jolly
group chat.
around. We can say this, that, and another. If we're brave and this, that, and another, we won't be brave. We'll be low block and we'll get hammered.
Absolutely spot on, Ant.
What will
Absolutely.
happen? Yeah.
We are toothless, man, and that's why.
One, though, lads. It's a tough one because it's points over substance, over style. It's so hard to get the balance right when you're down the bottom. We've talked about confidence before.
Jamie, the problem is he didn't target.
There's no fight away from home. There's no fight.
It's not even that. It's not even that. Jamie, for me, Everton, Wolves, Bournemouth, those games, where we were at home, especially the Everton and Wolves game, that's where I turned on Cooper again. I was like, he's not up to it, because those are the games he had to win, and he still played as if we were playing a Liverpool or a Man U. He was playing low block football. If you're going to do that against the worst teams or the teams around you in the league, then what are we going to do away from home at Liverpool? You know what I mean? That's the
frustrating thing. I agree with you there. That's the frustrating thing, because when you're at the City ground, if and I've been there when the City ground's in full pomp, and when you're having a go and you're attacking and you get an early goal, it's an impossible place to get a result. And for the away team, it's an impossible place, and I have found that frustrating with them, because I look at teams like, I think any side from, say, 10th downwards, Forest should be going at them hammer and tongue early 100%. On. Nick a goal, get the crowd on the side, and make it, a horrible, horrible cauldron.
Arsenal just hit the bar.
Yeah.
Lads, I've got 4% battery.
Where's your charger?
Arsenal just
have you heard of the phone charger, mate?
Just hit the bar.
Downstairs, and I'm upstairs, like.
That's his way of saying he's had enough.
It's not, honestly, because I was planning on going on the fucking computer, but Jamie couldn't fix it.
It's Jamie's fault now. Jamie, it's your fault, Jamie, You and Jimmy got in fine, It's your fault, Jamie.
How long's left on that game?
Like
it's 8 minutes overtime, so it's about 7 minutes left. Arsenal's just at the bar. Arsenal are killing them now.
I was wondering why you lot were celebrating. I was like, why are these guys celebrating? And then I realised it was Southampton. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Into the combo, Jimmy.
Is he secret Arsenal fans or what?
No, he is.
Yes, one of us is,
Look, he's literally turning his back on you lot because his beloved Arsenal, he's literally a closet Arsenal fan. He's actually turned his back on a Forest legend here to watch Arsenal, and you should be ashamed.
The one thing you've got up your sleeve, lads, is Everton are absolutely awful. They lost to Chester. They got beat by Chester in the week.
I'd love to see
1-0.
I'd love it if Everton went down.
And Calvert-Lewin was playing, wasn't it?
He was playing,
8 first-team players.
Was it that many?
Yeah, because I'm in another WhatsApp group, and the one of my old assistant gaffers is now the assistant. Yes. And he's the assistant manager of Chester, and he said they were awful. Like,
who, Everton were?
Yeah. Like Calvert-Lewin was garbage.
So
but they're still. Yeah, but the thing is, they've got goal corner to Arsenal. They got goal difference on us. At the end of the day, we need to get one more point at least to go back ahead of them.
There's 10 in it,
It's just so bad, our goal difference. And that's why, when you were asking earlier, Jimmy, about, would we take getting tonked 8-1 if we went for it? For me, because we've already got the shittest goal difference in the league. It ain't going to change. No one's going to get a worse goal difference than us. Because I think, apart from, say, Bournemouth, but even they're getting better, right? So for me, it's a case of, look, if we're fighting against Everton, Leeds, and who's the other team? West Ham. Then just get tonked
Leicester
or try and win.
Lads. I think Leicester.
I think Leicester will make it.
No, I think they're in it.
They're in the ship. Leicester in the ship.
Well, who are your 3, Jimmy? Jimmy, who's your 3 to go?
Southampton.
He's going to say
Leicester.
Say it.
I think Leeds. No, I think Leeds.
Leeds.
Yeah,
Leeds.
I mean, basically, it's down to Forest, Everton, and Leicester.
The thing that I think will keep Forest up is Keylor Navas.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's the most informed. Yeah, he's going to score all the goals. I think he will have at least one. He'll have one game where he'll have an absolute worldie and he'll score one off someone's arse.
Well, you think tomorrow, Jimmy?
I think Everton could go, lads. I think
Southampton, Leicester, and Everton are gone.
We need MGW and Jono to get back in form.
I don't think Leicester are gone, boys. I don't think Leicester. If you look at Leicester's fixtures,
don't go about fixtures. Don't go about fixtures. Southampton are drawing 3-3 with Arsenal. Fixtures don't mean shit, right?
Yeah, but Southampton and play football. We're not, man. Look how well they're playing.
That's going to happen, right? We're going to get a point against Brighton. We're going to get 3 points against Southampton, and it'll go down to Palace away on the last game of the season. That's how it's going to happen.
They'll be on the beach by
You lot now think Southampton are going to roll over at the City Ground when they're drawing 3-3 at the Emirates, being 3-1 up?
Yeah, because they'll be stunned after that.
Yeah,
like Tank said, confidence. They'll be.
How did that work out for Bournemouth, Dino? Dino, how did that work out for Bournemouth when they lost in the last second at Arsenal? We all wrote them off as relegated. They then went on their run.
You've been writing Bournemouth off all season, but Bournemouth had a decent run. But they've had a decent run.
That's what I'm saying.
They've got a regular side that play every week. They know each other. They're not chopping and changing.
I think Leicester's made a massive fuck up appointing him as manager.
Leicester can't score at all. I mean, we're bad, but God.
I think Leicester are in big trouble. I think Southampton will go, and I can't see Everton picking up more than 1 point in the last games. The fucking diet.
The fixtures aren't great as well, are they?
No, they've got really
sounds tough, but let's not pretty it up. If we stay up this season, it's because.
One at a time. Dino, go on, Dino.
If we stay up this season, it's because there's 3 shocking teams below us, in my opinion.
Don't give a shit.
No, I don't give a shit.
That's the same every year. That no good team goes down.
It won't be because of our efforts.
Yeah, or FFP will save us and take points off Everton. So, Jamie, sorry, who did you say is the 3? You think Everton are gone?
I think Everton will go down. Yeah, I think this could be the time. Ant said something there. They're losing at the home to Fulham. You know what I mean?
Not losing, he got battered by Fulham.
Yeah,
my father-in-law was there, said it was gone.
And you're talking about the ability to score goals. Calvert-Lewin was their poster boy, and he can't stay fit. And has there been a goal there, or is Colin winding us up?
I think he's taking Colin. You're an absolute wind-up merchant, Colin.
Have a look.
He's not. I've got it live.
No, but Calvert-Lewin was their guy that was going to get them the goals. He doesn't stay fit, and he doesn't look the same player. So you're looking at Everton's team, and you're thinking, where are they getting goals from?
Calvert-Lewin's too busy modelling handbags.
I knew you. I knew it could have been worse as well, Charles. Take handbags, to be honest. How's your battery getting on there, Tank?
Yeah, not great.
Okay. Well, Tank, give us your score prediction, mate.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
2-2.
Oh. Are you fake? Forest scored 2 away goals. Look at all our faces. Look at everyone's faces.
Jimmy,
I hope my battery goes.
Jamie, how many times have I got the Liverpool score right?
Yeah, no, and I get that pissed off every week because he's like, Liverpool will lose, and I blame Tank for them losing. It's his fault for saying it out loud.
Give you false hope all the time. I said on our own podcast, when Liverpool beat Man United 7-0, I said to you, and Jamie will back me up on this, so I'm not convinced that Liverpool's turned the corner, and next week we go and get fucking spanked by Bournemouth the next game. Yeah. And since Liverpool beat Man U, I think, but take the Leeds result aside, that's the only win we've had since we beat Man U. We've been shocking.
Over, yeah, 3-0.
Game over, 3-0 on that one, yeah.
The thing is, Liverpool's home record is very, very good. I mean, and our away record is very, very bad, and that's what worries me.
You know what's going to happen there, don't you?
Stop it, Tank. Don't say it out loud, because it's your fault if it happens.
Say it.
Say it, Ant.
The Forest win.
The thing is, have Liverpool actually got anything to play for? Do you believe that they could still get into Champions League?
They won't get top 4.
Zero chance.
Not consistent enough, fans. There's the stability of the team is completely gone. So you might see Liverpool put 3 games together, but then they'll drop a bollock again, and they need to be perfect to have any chance. So no, not this season, unfortunately.
So what are you saying, Jamie?
Do you actually want Europa League or Conference League, or would you rather have a year out?
It's in Dublin, the final.
Is it? Yeah. Oh, that could work out well.
It's over 3-3.
Yeah, I still want European football. I still want European football. I get the idea of not playing Thursday nights and getting a little bit more of a break, but I still think Liverpool Football Club should be playing in Europe. And I think it's a good way to look. We've got a big squad now. At the moment we've got 6 strikers that are all top quality. I know Firmino's going to be off, but
and Nunes.
What do you mean? He's not off. Don't start. Don't you start on my Nunes.
Top quality ones. I was just saying, and okay. Nunes.
But yeah, look,
do you rate him, Jamie? Do you rate Nunes?
Massively, yeah. Me and Tank, we're both the same. We're big Nunes.
The screen will rise up from the hard-ons he'll be getting if you start mentioning Nunes.
Once he gets that calmness in front of goal, he's going to be awesome, isn't
he? Who's better, him or Trashford? He barely plays, and he scored 15 goals. But when he does play, honestly, he's just a fucking joy to watch because nobody knows what he's going to do. No one knows.
He makes football fun, and I just feel like at the moment, when you've got those, there's certain players that you just warm to, and he's frantic, he's aggressive, he'll run the channels, he's pacey, powerful. He's a bit mad, but I'm all right with a bit mad. Do you know what I mean? And I hate this comparison because I'm not going to say that Nunes is Suarez at all. But Suarez was really poor when he first came to Liverpool. He's very erratic. He was missing a lot of chances. And we've spoke a lot tonight about confidence. He scored 15 goals this season in a team that's struggling and they're not creating a huge amount of chances. Can you imagine when he settles a little bit, feel the weight of the shirt isn't that heavy, and all of a sudden he's taking shots without thinking? I think he's got.
Jimmy, don't you think he's got some
snatching at shots? But once he gets that confidence and settles into the Premier League, he's a new player.
100%.
And he's a bit calmer in front of goal. He's got everything else, hasn't he?
Yeah, but Jimmy, do you see a bit of Andy Carroll V2 in him?
No.
Fuck Jimmy, mate, I'll leave our WhatsApp group if you say fucking yes to this.
Do you know what I've just thought of then?
Who was the Ukrainian you signed in with the long hair? Voronin.
Oh,
yeah, he's got a very much Voronin / Carroll vibe about him.
Where you going here, you? Fucking, your cap's making your brain.
Do you know we've back tomorrow? We could be a major problem for Forest, and I totally forgot.
Diaz.
Yeah, he's a good player. Yeah.
Mate, do you know what was interesting today? Do you know what was interesting today? And I've been a bit stroppy when Nunes hasn't played because I actually think the use of him has been really poor. You're trying to settle into a team and it's been stop-start. He gets hooked after 65 minutes every time he starts a game, or then he won't start. And Klopp come out today, and I was saying to Tank, I was like, I don't understand it. It makes no logical sense. He's our biggest threat whenever he plays. But Klopp basically turned around today and said that it's because of his counter-pressing. So he believes that when Nunes plays, to us, we look at him, he's like, yeah, he's causing so many threats, and he is. But defensively, he's leaving us open from the left. And that's why Jota's been playing, because he's very good defensively. And Klopp has said the ticket into this team, and this is his exact word, is your ability to counter-press. So he couldn't have spelt it out anymore. I think Nunes has to work on the defensive side. But Luis Diaz has both. So he will come into that Liverpool team and will light it up. But
what are you going to do, Jamie, with Gakpo? Because I don't know why you're playing him as a false 9.
I think he's excellent there, mate.
I think he's a left-sider for me, personally.
When he come in, me and Tank were both like, what are we doing here? He didn't look right. He didn't look right from wide.
There goes the battery.
There you go. That's it. He goes out. That's the most Tank way to go out. No goodbye. See you later. Fucking mic drop. The Gakpo one's funny. When he first came in, I was looking at it. I couldn't see what we were trying to do. And then all of a sudden, they put him into the false 9. And he's like Firmino with power, pace, the ability to beat someone. He's very calm. He can spot. He can spot a pass. I'm telling you, there's a hell of a player there. And I
agree. He was linked to Forest.
Was he? Yeah. Was he really?
Mate, Gakpo's linked to everybody. Everyone that we have on the channel, it was linked to us. It was linked to us.
He nearly went to Southampton as well, didn't he? And then Leeds, and he was linked to Forest.
And then United pulled out, didn't they?
Yeah.
Jamie, can I ask you? Are you one of these deluded Liverpool fans that still believe you're going to get Jude Bellingham?
Yes.
You know why, mate? Yes. Do you know why? Because the man that just left this channel told me some information that he was very, very confident of it happening. And he's not a bullshitter as our Tank. I genuinely do think that... Do you know what I would say, right? For every reason, footballing reason, it makes no sense. But call me stupid. I just feel like Jude Bellingham is built a little bit different. Fair enough. I've been called worse. To be fair, I just feel like he's built a little bit different, and there's something about the idea of him coming in, number 8, be the captain, lead Liverpool to the former glories. Have you noticed how he's now stalling when it's Manchester City in for him? He loves the history of Liverpool. Maybe I've convinced myself on this. I just feel
like... you acting like you know this. Like,
Jimmy, I thought there was a thing called...
I spoke to him last week, Jim. Don't start on it.
Because he went to a pop concert with Trent Alexander-Arnold.
That's it, mate. That's all I need, Ant. That's all I need. His dad's a Liverpool fan as well. Like, you know what I mean?
Hold on, Jimmy, how do you put up with this shit? He's saying he's stalling at the moment. Have you not taught him what a transfer window is?
I swear to God, right, in the WhatsApp group the other day, at 5:25, Jude Bellingham has signed a 5-year deal, 250 grand a week, number 8, and was the captain. At 9, it was all tits up. He'd gone. No one was signing him. They were kicking off at the owners.
£2, Andrew
honestly,
Shaw.
it's an hourly
I'm
thing
deluded
in
and
our
believe
WhatsApp.
4
One
points to
minute
safety.
he's done deal. The next minute he's not coming. Jude Bellingham is not going to Liverpool. Why would he?
Why'd you have to ruin me fun all
He's
the time?
got the pick of the world. He's got the world at his feet. I said this now. Liverpool are in a world of pain for the next couple of years, I think. Because I just think the owners won't do what the owners need to do. They've said what they need to do in the decision in not buying Bellingham and buying 4 or 5 players to strengthen the team. That is the right decision. But it's the type of players you buy. So they need to go and buy Maddison, a Gravenbach, these type of players that are still going to cost 50 to 60
Gravenbach,
million.
you're spot on, Jimmy. You're spot on. He's perfect for Liverpool.
His injury
Ward,
record won't go down well with Liverpool fans, and if he's asked to do
Shelby, bring him back to the Anfield.
So the point is they need to sign 5 players at 50 million each, and they don't do that. So they're not going to sign Bellingham. They're going to end up with more Arters or fucking bang average midfielders.
Friday night here now. Why did you ask him about Liverpool? He's just doing this to wind me up.
Mate, I'd like to get the full perspective of it, because you were going down the old deluded avenue there a little bit. He's got to bring it back to reality. All this, as Ant said, from a pop concert.
Didn't Jurgen Klopp call Liverpool fans children after a lollipop or something like that because they're expecting Bellingham?
Do you know, mate, he's had a weird season, Jurgen, right? And I adore him. I absolutely adore him. Given the keys to the city, he's given me moments that I could have only dreamed of. What I would say is, he's not helped himself in press conferences this year. He sat at the start of the season and he listed the midfielders we had, and he said, tell us what type of midfielder we need. And fans were saying, I have this theory, right? Jurgen Klopp is an unbelievable manager, but he puts very specific demands on players, particularly the midfield. He's ran the midfield into the ground. That's not his fault. It's just his style. Yeah. But Liverpool fans could see at the start of the season that you needed to refresh. But he sat there and he tried to tell the fans that we're wrong. It's and it's all come to fruition now. So he's been a little bit prickly. I also think he does sometimes try to back the owners up a lot. I understand they're his bosses, but sometimes it's okay to just tell a little bit more of the truth. Do you know what I mean? And don't make it out like we're being spoiled brats, because we're not. We want us to be successful.
Are you Klopp in still?
There's no one could do what Liverpool need more than Jurgen Klopp. I wouldn't want any other manager.
Are you like freaking hellbent Klopp FC? Stick with him. What's your limit?
Klopp FC. I'm not Klopp FC, but I just fail to see that there's another manager that could come in and do what Liverpool need.
If he does this again, sorry, Dino, I got to ask this. If he does this again next season, are you still Klopp in?
He'll be under immense pressure.
Jimmy, does he always sit on the fence?
He does, yeah, but Tank's been Klopp in, Klopp out. He's like a fucking horse, Klopp in, Klopp out. These two are a nightmare when it comes to Liverpool.
I can see why you tell no one who you support, Jimmy. It makes more sense, doesn't it?
I tell you one thing, it's easy to tell you I don't support, and it's Liverpool. So.
Sorry, Dino, I interrupted you there. Go on, let Dino in and then I'll bring you in. Go.
I just come off obviously another Liverpool fan channel stream, and I asked the same question: are you Klopp in or out? Because me and the Forest guy on there, Dave, we were just baffled that you'd even be talking about Klopp out when we were in our situation. And they were like 50-50. So,
but I get
Jamie,
it.
what's the sort of overall spread with the Liverpool support? Because it does baffle me that you're even thinking about Klopp out, to be honest.
I'll be honest, I would say massive minority would be Klopp out.
Right.
I mean, it's just, like, I'll be honest here, the owners have hamstrung him. Like, he can only do so much with the squad that he has. The heart has been taken out of this Liverpool team. So he's having to try and patch the team. And look, I'm not crying poverty here, but what I'm saying is the level that they have had to maintain to stay with the City has been nigh on impossible. Now he doesn't have a midfield. This squad needs a total refresh. They needed a refresh 2 years ago. So he's still having to wheel the players out, and the expectations haven't changed because they don't with football fans. You know it yourselves, lads. We have incredibly high expectations for our team because it comes from a position of love, passion. You just see me talk about Jude Bellingham. I have fully convinced myself that Jude Bellingham is coming to Liverpool because we do this as football fans.
Mate, I'd love your fucking refresh. I really would. At Forest.
and I'm also getting Michelle Keegan as my next wife, lad. So, yeah, just
she might be a better cook than your missus.
Yeah. Either way, I'm getting poisoned.
Your setup there, mate. I feel like you're like a therapist or something, and you're like, when you see these therapists on like TikTok or Instagram, some setup you got going on there. I feel like
he's got Buddha behind him as well, Jamie, right next to his right shoulder, right there.
Next Forest manager.
He's got a massage table behind there. Ez gets oiled up every Thursday. It's.
For free.
There's a couple of strippers waiting for me after the stream.
We'll have to come back on this podcast again.
Just very quickly, because I'm just going to say thank you to Sharky so much for the £2, buddy. He's saying, I'm deluded and believe 4 points to safety up the Reds. And then Ez, over to you, Ez, because DJ's like, is Ez out cold here? What's going on?
These guys, mate, they've been amazing, mate. It's been great having you on. But yeah, and I'm just chilling. As Keith has pointed out, I'm just chilling.
Just chilling, lad. I like it. It's been great to come on, lads. Genuinely.
The thing about Jude is, to me, he's the archetypal perfect Liverpool player. You should have got him last summer. The problem is you've fallen so far this season and you need so many replacements that just Jude is not enough. Yeah. So even if Liverpool could stump up the cash and if Jude was willing to come to a team that's not challenging for the league title, it's not enough.
You know what, though, Ant? I feel like he has the ability to be that much of a transformative signing. So, do you know the likes of an Alisson?
Yeah.
Do you know the likes of a Van Dijk? You see it now, and you're actually seeing it a little bit, I think, with Trent now. He's moved into this kind of hybrid, full, double six. You're not wrong. But what it's done is his energy in the last couple of games, you can see his confidence. People are feeding off that. And I think if you bring in a Jude Bellingham, and I would assume we would still bring in potentially a Gravenberch, who I think potentially you could get for around 25 million, something like that.
Yeah.
Liverpool don't need a huge amount of surgery in midfield. They just need legs. So if Jude Bellingham can do the running of two people, which he can.
Oh my God, Jimmy, I feel for you, man.
Mate, Forest not anywhere near Gravenberch. We're getting a gravel patch.
Yeah, gravel patch.
I was eating gravel patch last week.
On your chips, lad.
Hey, listen, before we came on, me and Jamie were like, yeah, we'll do about an hour. I've just looked at the clock and what the fuck, it's flown
you've
by.
You've killed me, mate. I'll be honest, my kids better be alive in there. Like, I thought we were doing an hour.
Apologies, I'm going to blame Tank for being late, as I think we'll all agree he's the culprit here. And then he pisses off. His phone hasn't died
yet. He's in bed now. He's fucking
exactly. So it's been a cracking stream. Boys, we've got to do this again. This has been absolute
Thank you very much.
Quality.
Jamie, do you want to do a quick subscriber count? Let us know if you. I think you picked up about 20 odd. No, maybe if you 1,100. I think you're nearly on now.
Yeah, guys in the chat, while Jamie's checking how many new subs they've got, if you haven't already, the link is in the title, for those ants of you out there. All you got to do is click on the thing that says at Boot Room, I'll drop
it into chat.
Boot Room Podcast. Dino's going to put it in the chat. All you got to do is click that, click subscribe. It's completely free to do. We've seen what a quality bunch of lads they are. We've had the Forest legend Tank in here as well. So, Jamie, have they been pressing it? Can you confirm?
They have. You're very good, lads, and very much appreciated. And I suppose, you know, he won't say it himself. I tell you what, he's some character, that Tank. In the gym, we have so much fun with him.
I fucking hate him, I do. He's
It's in the chat. Until you're unblocked, sure.
No, he's honestly, lads, and you know, when you get him talking, and he talks about stories from the past, and Joe, I think the world has gone a little bit soft, right? And we need more people like Tank. And I am going to say this about Jimmy because he's obviously one of my oldest friends, but we just have a chat straight to the point. Just say it. We're not trying to offend anyone. We're just lads having a laugh, talking about a sport that we love. And if you can do that, then you're not going to go too far wrong.
Fantastic. They're all saying they've subscribed in the chat.
I've not seen any of your content yet. I'm going to binge watch it.
Mate, it's so good, tomorrow. Man. It's like watching us. If you put like Ant's potty mouth where Tank is, obviously Tank's a better footballer than Ant, yeah. And then you got, you know, Jimmy brings that level of sensibility, and then Jamie holds all the glue together. It's just a quality.
I just tried to make them two argue. That's all I want to do is make them.
You know what? Jamie is my best mate, right? He's probably my oldest mate.
Your oldest or only, Jimmy? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
But it pisses me off because he always sides with Tank no matter what, because he knows it winds me up. And he's like, oh, but Jimmy, Tank's right. And I'm like, you don't even agree with him. Just stop.
You know what, Jimmy? We're all best mates, but we fucking hate each other still.
Yeah. It's the way best mates should be. It's the way it should be.
Mate, Ant and Ez, they're like yin and yang, yeah. Ant will go off on one and Ez will slap him down, and then me and Dino are there just stirring the pot in the background.
It's like the live version of a WhatsApp group.
Exactly.
Ez and I have never disagreed on anything ever.
It's all live, is it?
You pussy, of course you have.
Great. Boys, it's been fabulous. Please don't tonk us too much tomorrow. Yeah. We got to do this again. We got to do this again. 100%. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. Please do subscribe. I don't know where the time's gone. Apologies that we've overrun. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the watch along tomorrow for Liverpool's annihilation of Forest. Come on, you Reds.
You Reds.